All right, folks, welcome to another edition of the Pete Manzanelli program. Right now, I am joined by a truly prestigious guest. He's the creator of many four-letter acronyms. He's a man with a very shady past in the wine industry. And of course, he's the man behind your favorite predictive fantasy football metric, air yards, Josh Hermsmeyer. Welcome to the program, my dude.
What's going on, man? So happy that I finally was able to twist your arm enough to get me on your prestigious show. I mean, you got the fat heads behind you that just everything I ever wanted to see behind the scenes. I got the peak. I'm pumped right now, dude.
That's right. This is basically like the kickoff to your unofficial book tour. You got a book going on. Is that true?
Yeah, I've been started writing a book on the NFL. So I think I've gotten one section done, maybe like 10% done. It's man, that's crazy. I don't know if you ever tried to write anything or do anything, but you did the Fantasyland, well, your alter ego did the Fantasyland podcast. Dude, stuff like that, huge things you try and bite off more than you could chew sometimes. So, yeah.
That's true. That's true. No, because it was funny. I was following you on Twitters and you said, you're like, screw draft season. I can't take it. I'm going to go away and write a book and I'll see you guys after the draft. But I'm pretty sure you came back about 4 days later with only a 10th of a book written. So what happened there?
Damn, stalking my ass. Yeah, no, that's actually pretty accurate. I went through the Christmas season and got a little bit done, and then I couldn't take it. I had to get some more Josh Allen takes out.
That's right, dude. Yeah, we'll get to a little bit of that throughout the show. We're going to talk about a variety of topics tonight, and this one's a little bit old news, but I'd be remiss if I didn't bring it up. But I believe I directly inspired you to do the DraftKings Pizza Challenge. And then you went and you completely upstaged me, dude.
Wow, dude, I don't know if I was trying to upstage anyone, but I mean, like I wanted to tell you, I mean, you're the reason why I started this competitive eating stuff. And, you know, you were the inspiration. I heard your wife laughing off camera and I was like, babe, I gotta try this. Look at this. This is like a gas. You got to film me. Kids can watch. We can all laugh and point. But, you know, so I just want to come on here and say thank you for that. But look, Manz, I know you're a poker pro, and there's an interesting story behind how I was able to just, you know, really kind of destroy you on this. And Rotodoc, too. I totally laid him out. He couldn't even finish like half his pizza. Do you know about like finding left ventricles? Do you follow Bale's Twitter account? Because he posts some pretty crazy stuff.
Dude, is that like, that sounds like Japanese hentai porn. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. So he tweeted out this link Bales did yesterday, and it was this awkward dude, you know, kind of rolling around on a stage talking to a bunch of nerds, and he had his, you know, the little button on his collared shirt was kept spreading open. I kept on checking out his belly button. I was like, you know, I was trying to focus, but he basically said that he was talking about this guy from Harvard who had 3 degrees. He worked at an investment bank or something, and he quit. And he said, you know what, I'm going to go. And I am going to not just like bet on horses, but I'm going to like figure out which horses to help people buy, like breeding. And so he started looking at correlations between like nostril size of the horse, and he would actually go behind horses and wait for him to shit right before a race. And he would weigh the shit and he would record the shit in a database. And then he would try and like find a correlation between being fast or something, winning money.
Dude. Josh, if this ends with a bestiality punchline, dude, we don't do that kind of stuff on this program.
No, and it ended up the only way he found something good was to actually ultrasound all the horses, and he found the left ventricle was the most predictive thing, and so he bought American Pharoah, which is Triple Crown winner. So the left ventricle, right? It's what we look for. It's what we look for in metrics, in football, and this. Well, the left ventricle for the pizza challenge was a New York pizza. And really, honestly, if you think about it, it's pretty easy because like New York pizza is the only legitimate pizza. So you would just logically come to this conclusion. But New York pizza is always thin. And one of the rules of the challenge was that you cannot order the thin pizza on the menu. So that's it. You find the New York pizza, find the thinnest pizza. Don't get all that dough in your belly and win all the money.
Well, I never thought a conversation about a DraftKings Pizza Challenge would lead us to horse fucking and back to finding edges, but here we are. That's why we have you on, Mr. Hermsmeyer. I have to ask you, now I might have a lot of people tuning in, the millions tuning in. They might know me from poker. They might know me from crypto. Maybe you should explain for them in layman's terms, these air yards that you've invented and why people on the internet seem so interested in them.
Yeah, it's really important stuff I do with the air yards. You can think of air yards as like if a guy caught every pass that was thrown to him and then just like immediately fell down. So like Mike Evans is air yards. So you watch Mike Evans and you're like, that's air yards. That's him.
Excellent. Tell me, because does air yards have a bit of a controversial, do some people say, no, Mike Clay's average depth of targets, that's the same things. What are the differences between those, and do you and Mike Clay ever meet in a back alley and kind of trade blows?
Yeah, no, I don't really like Mike Clay, and so we kind of, I don't know, we could totally do that back alley thing, and I'm sure we'll fight if I ever see him someplace. I don't go to the FAFSA events or anything. I'm not really that kind of guy, but I think if we ever did meet, it would probably be bad, and, one of us would leave a little bruised and bloody. But, yeah, no, I think the difference between what Mike did and what I did was he's kind of nerdy, but there's something called point estimates where you collapse all of the data into one thing, and that's ADOT. And what I did was spread out all the data and say what happens at each little part of the data, like what happens at a depth of target at 4 to 12. So I spread it out. He pushed it all in. And that's the difference between me and Mike Clay.
So you tried to find those ventricles in those yards is what you're saying you tried to do.
Yeah, man. You got to look for the ventricles. The left ventricles.
Well, one of the things that are, let me first give a few shout out to people in the chat. We got my boy Johnny Ringos. We got Greg's. What's going on, dudes? How you guys doing? Johnny Ringos is already wanting to set this up pay-per-view. You and Mike Clay's duking it out, so we'll have to see what we got going there. But one of the things that I personally appreciate about air yards is it's very predictive, which means it's not telling me what already happened. I can look at, other things for that. You're telling me what could or has a high probability of happening in the future. And of course, we have a long ways until the 2018 season kicks off, but we got these guys in these dynasty leagues. They're firing up the best balls. Who are some guys that the air yards likes coming up in 2018 that might have underperformed their yards that were thrown in the air to them in 2017?
Yeah, man. The problem is I haven't run the model yet this year, so I can't give you strong opinions on guys I like. But I can tell you, Manz, who I don't like. And this is going to win in your league. This is the left ventricle for 2018 fantasy football. Okay, here it is. Fade Julio Jones. Never Julio.
Dude, yeah. What is your deal, dude? You have this beef against Julio, dude. This guy, he's like a Greek Adonis, dude. 6'3", runs like a 4.3 40, dude. Just he's a legit. What is your deal with hating Julio, dude?
Dude, I can count touchdowns. Can you count touchdowns? I can. So there you go. That's it.
Dude, but I thought you're not air TDs, dude. You're air yards. I thought you would love Julio. All he does is get yards, no TDs. That sounds right up your alley.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just every time I see him a highlight, I know it's been fake. It's just been manufactured. It's fake news. So no, Julio, never Julio. I saw him going in the second round of some expert leagues. We don't have any ADP anymore because all the fucking, all the people who had MFL 10s and all the rest, they're shutting down all their APIs. So, data nerds like me and other people, we can't get the ADP for the people. So, but I did see though that Julio was going in the second round of some expert drafts, and I think that is just way too high. I think we want to get him down to like third round at the highest.
No,
never Julio.
I want to talk about that though. What is the deal with these API? Because you and our other friend Josh ADHD, you guys are out there on the internet with your like ice picks, just scraping data, and then you make it very beautiful and you present it to us, and we just eat it up and gobble it up, and we make actionable decisions. But you're telling me the people behind the scenes are withholding this data for us. What is going on? Because the MFL in the best ball data, that has been a veritable fountain of wealth of information, and you're saying it's gone now? Like what is the reason behind that happening?
I don't know. All I know is my boy Broadway Joe, whatever his name is, he does some just stellar best ball analysis. Had a fantasyfootballpages.com website, and he's just shutting it down. He's shutting it down because there's no more data. And look, I just as a straight business proposition, if I owned one of these best ball sites, I would be giving that away. I'd be pushing out there and go, just give us credit. Just throw our name out there when you put your ADP tweets and you put your ADP app. Like, you can't buy that kind of advertising. I would be so all over it. But, you know, no one ever accused anyone in football being, you know, super duper smart. So.
Seriously, it makes no sense. Like you said, you give people the data, you create conversations around your product, which is going to in turn result to more people wanting to put money into your product. Why you would cut that off? It's like what the, you know, a lot of the big sporting sites have gone through this with their highlights, right? Some of them scrub the highlights right away and cite, you know, like the NBA, they've been a little more progressive with it, and they have the best online Twitter community of any of the sports. It's like, just use your head, Dumbles. Let the people have the content. It's gonna all ultimately lead back to your fat coffers, you dumb fucks.
Manz, damn it. Yeah.
That's right.
100.
So I do think we are having just like a teeny bit of a lag between you and me. So I'll just be, I apologize if we are having that. I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to a couple more guys in the chat. We got Nicholas Wonders saying, Manz, I never play NHL, but it's all-star break. Decided to smoke a bowl and load up a team on DK Squeeze. Currently in 11th. Let's hold, baby. That's right, dude. We got the NHL DFS D-Gens coming out of the woodwork. Can't pronounce the names on the guys on my team, but whatever. Josh, have you ever dabbled in any NHL analytics, fantasy, or DFS?
I'm breaking up pretty bad here, Manz, but if you can read me. No, man, I did baseball analytics for a while. I quit that about 10 years ago, and yeah, no, and now it's just football 100% full time. I don't Here's the thing. The guys that do a lot of this stuff, I think they're good at games, right? But I don't know that they like are getting deep enough into the sport to really understand it deeply. And I'm not good that way, right? Like some guys can time the market, like you probably. You know, some Bitcoin guys, they just know which coin is going to be the coin. You know, I can't. That's not how I'm made. So I got to go deep. I got to deep dive. Got to just, you know, high center myself right on that thing. And so that's where I'm at. I commit.
I am losing you. Chat, will someone let me know, is this watchable, or is it breaking up too much? Is it being annoying? Because we might have to, I don't know, maybe check our internet connection to get something working. So drop me a line in the chat if this is working for you guys, or if it is annoying. But we will keep pressing on here. Now, I think you're underselling yourself a little bit, but I do find, you know, you are a metrics guy. You're posting these charts. I don't see you out here with the binoculars analyzing combine footage. And then just the other day, I think I noticed you posting some highlight clips. So I feel like Hermsmeyer, he has this kind of this internal struggle of like wanting to watch the game and enjoy it, but remaining unbiased with the numbers. Tell me about that struggle you deal with.
The struggle. So I actually did the scouting academy, Dan Hatman's deal, and I wanted to learn how to watch football better and kind of see what they were actually teaching scouts, and, you know, just kind of what to look for and all that. And so I did that, paid a lot of money, and then you know, like, I think they have a great and is doing tremendous work. He's actually building a real cool network of guys who are trying to legitimately put forward a repeatable process. So love what Hatman's doing. What I learned doing it, like, I mean, like a couple things. Like, I thought that, like, one running back I watched on Denver, he probably shouldn't be taking handoffs out of the pistol. Like, I think I found another, like, little insight. But at the end of the day, what I realize is I'm not going to be finding anything actionable for what I am interested in by watching and grinding tape. So I go to the numbers. That's where I try and find my left ventricles there.
So what do you, because so much of the cottage industry around fantasy sports, it's based on what people see with their eyes. And look, like that's all good and fun, right? If we're just like, I see this, I like this. Does it get a little bee in your bonnet when you see people passing off things they see with their eyes as being actionable for things that are going to happen in the future?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, unless they can tell me, like, I've seen 6 guys with that trait, and every single one of them became this type of receiver or this type of running back or whatever. Like, and then what are you really asking? You're asking for them to turn what they saw into numbers, right? So anything you say, anything you do, any kind of way you want to talk about your process, if it's repeatable, if it's a real process, you can turn it into numbers, and then you could tell me, how good is it? You could tell me what percentage of the things that you say that's important. Well, fine. If it is, how many times has that led to success? If you can't answer that, then you're just bullshitting, man. You don't know. You're throwing darts like the rest of us. And especially with prospects, and especially the guys on draft Twitter, that's all they do. They throw darts, and they're really, really confident in their dart throws, and then they just disappear once the season starts and their guys are shit in the bed.
Do you play?
And that's what I don't like, right? That's what I don't like. Like, own it. Like, go out there and go, yeah, I was wrong again. Damn, this is hard stuff, but they don't do that.
So then how do you take that, let's call it humility, and approach to knowing we're going to mess up a lot? Are you in dynasty leagues? Are you taking the Patriots model of trading back with your picks, knowing you need more darts? Do you have that uniform strategy, knowing that you're going to ultimately be wrong about a lot of these prospects? How do you take what you know and then have that allow you to be successful in your leagues?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that works most of the time. This year, I'm holding on to my picks because it looks like there's just going to be a slew of really good running backs who are going to find probably some decent landing spots. So I'm holding on. I got like the 1.02 in one of my leagues. But yeah, last year I did a startup with Ryan McDowell. He's a huge kind of dynasty guy over at dynastyfootball.com, whatever it is. And just a fantastic analyst. And I traded all my picks away. And I came in second out of like 64 dudes. So I think it can work. But again, I don't know. I don't know that you like hold to like a specific strategy every single year. I think most times, like you or Pete, you've been doing the high stakes deal year after year, and I know you've been trying the zero RB. How's it worked out for Overzit? Overzit hasn't had that great of a run.
Yeah, my producer, he sure loves this zero RB that, the guys over at RotoGiz seem to sure love, and yet no results to show for it. So, I think he's, really crying himself to sleep at night, wondering if he needs to go robust RB. He definitely has kind of an all-in mentality. So the zero RB thing speaks to him, but maybe he just needs to flip it on his head. But I feel like it's going to be that thing that the second you abandon it, then we're going to have that super chaotic running back year, and the wide receivers are all going to finally go off again. So it's tough to know. Let's talk about, you got this site, airyards.com. We talked a little bit about Air Yards, but you're constantly putting out new apps. You put out a quarterback efficiency app. Why don't you tell us about what's going on over there? Because I go over there and I just see lots of numbers and stuff, and it's cool. Like I'll smoke a bowl and just kind of like trip out at like the pretty lines, but like what's going on over there?
Yeah, right. Sometimes I don't know. I mean, I just put some apps out there. I think they're pretty cool. But I did some videos for Roster Coach. I don't know if it helped or anyone like hear me talk about how I look at the graphs. But basically, you got a yellow line, and that's league average. And then you got a green line, and that's the player. And if it's above the yellow line, that's pretty good. If it's below the yellow line, that's bad. I mean, that's it. That's it. I try and make it pretty easy. But the idea is that behind all those graphs, behind all that is a lot of hard kind of basic science, right? I went through and I said, should we even be looking at this crap, right? What is race or pacer? All these metrics I come up with, all these things I look at, are they even worth even considering? And so I kind of compare them and their predictiveness to everything else that's out there, like yards per attempt, like ESPN QBR, like DVOA. Like, so I try and say, well, where do these metrics stack up against all those other ones? And they come out ahead. And so I figure, look, it's always going to be difficult to predict the future. It's always going to be hard. But if you can get a small edge, even if it's like a 20% edge on folks who think the DVOA or QBR is like the way to judge a quarterback, then I think you're probably way ahead of the game. And I think especially if the NFL let schmoes like me have access to this player tracking data, man, telling you, like, left ventricles left and right, like there's going to be insights in that data that are going to help. If not teams win, if it's not going to, the teams aren't going to look at them, it's going to allow for guys to play fantasy and DFS to win.
So you're telling me that these stats that you're making are more predictive than a lot of the more commonly known stats. Right now, are you telling me is just the issue you have a marketing problem? Because it sounds to me like you should be able to go around and be like, here's your stat, mine is more predictive. Like, why haven't the people woken up? Do they just not know that you're sitting on this gold mine of truth serum?
No, I think it's a difference of of goal, right? Like, so ESPN wants to tell the story of the season. They want to say, here's what happened and why it happened, right? And then, like, for sports bettors and degenerates like me, like, we want to know, I don't give a shit what just happened. Tell me what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, I want to know what's going to go on. Like, what is the story you're telling me right now just pure narrative, or is there something in there that I can take away and say, hey, look, maybe that'll mean that next game he's going to perform well or badly? And so I think it's just a difference of their focus, right? Like, they don't care about what happens in the future. That's not their game. Their game is to write the story of the game that just happened. So yeah, no, I don't think, first of all, I don't think they care. I don't think those types of people care. That's not what they're after. And so why would me shouting about my metric being more predictive mean anything to them? They're like, well, you know, we put all our money into QBR, and we think it does a pretty good job of saying that Aaron Rodgers had a good or bad game. We're done. So that's my take on it. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to take a hop into the chat here. We got Nicholas Wonder saying, I just recently dropped out of high school to start playing DFS and online poker to pick up chicks.
Smart move, Nicholas.
Man's live interviews are inspirational. Dude, Nicholas Wonders, I am happy. Like, you know, drop out of school. No one needs education. You can find every single bit of knowledge you'll ever need online. I'll tell you about a few shit coins to invest in, dude. Then we'll round out your portfolio. You will be set. We got my dude, Nick Papagiorgio, in the chat. I'm only here to sign autographs and kiss babies. Hashtag get paid, get laid. What's up, Papagiorgio? Circling back to talking about this stats thing, I know there are some stats you would probably love to get your hands on. I mean, we just talked about the best ball data, but I'm thinking maybe even bigger picture. If you could have the access to one stat or piece of data that you know is out there and exists, that you could, you know, break in to this institution, you know, Tommy Cruise Mission Impossible style, and steal this data, what would it be?
I think it would be the bank account numbers and pins of the players and owners.
Wow, that's a little. I don't know. I'm trying, Josh. I don't want to get you arrested, dude. No, this is a stealth mission. Okay, that's gonna cause too big of a scene. No, I'm talking about fantasy data that you can make pretty, and then people can win $50 leagues.
I think for sure it'd be all this data they're going to be given to the teams coming up here in the spring. All the player tracking data, and it's like big data, right? It's big data, like lots of terabytes of data for probably a season, and who knows? I haven't looked at it yet. I don't even know exactly what Zebra, which is Zebra's the company that like puts the chips in the shoulder pads and in the ball, and then they collect all the data. Then they ship that data to the NFL, and then the NFL does whatever they want with it. And I don't know, like, do they give them like the raw data, or did they just give them like, here's what we think the route was? Like, so there's lots of questions about exactly what Zebra's giving to the league and then what the league is going to give to the teams. I have to tell you, I've talked to some folks. I would love to get my hands on it. I would do almost anything to do it. You know, I think there's a lot of teams that don't have anyone doing it. So yeah, I think that there's an opportunity, hopefully at some point. I think it goes two ways. Either they're going to give people like me, or, you know, even people better than me, opportunities to look at that data and try and find insights. Or these teams that aren't willing to invest, I think what they might do is like all band together, and they might just say, you know what, you fucking Patriots, you fucking Eagles, you guys are putting all this money in analytics. You know what? We got like 18 owners who are willing to just give it to the people. We'll just give it to the people. We're going to take away your edge. Everyone gets the data. You spent all this money. Fuck you. And I think that actually has a pretty good chance of happening. If it does, man, that's pretty good for us. That's pretty good for us.
I like that, dude. The mutually assured destruction, and then you would be the benefit of this vindictive act, dude. I kind of like the idea of that playing out. I like that. I got to imagine, are there people that come to you? I feel like people, if they see what you're doing with this data, find it interesting, thinking, you know, and we've seen it unfold in NBA. I'm sure you've seen it unfold in MLB. They say, yo, Josh, stop posting all those air yards online. Stop posting those efficiency. Come post it internally for Bill Belichick to catch out. You ever get any of that? People asking you to do stuff like that?
I mean, I talked with folks, but most of the time it doesn't lead anywhere. And here's the problem. Like, the stuff that the really smart people, and I don't even count myself in them. There's PhDs out there who are looking at this stuff, who can do things that and do some modeling that I probably can't do, even if I try my hardest, put all my effort into. And it's just because they're smarter and they have a better education. So, you know, like dropping out maybe not the best idea, whoever it was that was talking about that. But like, so I think there are qualified people out there. There are probably a lot of them at Sloan that the NFL could be tapping and putting them on their teams. And the problem is they won't pay them, right? They treat them like the NFL wants to act like they're Hollywood, right? And they can, you know, give you like a barista wages just for the chance of being around a team. Well, nah, man, that doesn't interest me, not even a little bit. So, you know, pay me. I'm happy to talk to you. You don't pay me, you know, go ahead and go for the fresh graduate from MIT that, you know, loves NFL and just rape him, which is just terrible to say, but that's what they're going to do.
Dude, that's why you're a friend of the program, because Josh Hermsmeyer is always looking to get paid and get laid. Is that right?
That's right.
That's right. That's what I like to hear. Now, I will say, though, you talk about how much you love analytics, and yet I go to the domain name statsareforlosers.com, and I can't help but notice you own that domain. So what is it, dude? You're doing a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde Two-Face act with us over here.
No way, man. I mean, look, I believe that. I believe that. Every time I see someone say statsareforlosers.com, I'm going to throw that thing up there. It's the truth. Because look, what I want to do is I want to own the space where if you're a loser and you need stats, you know where to go. You click that link, and those loser stats will be there for you every single time.
See, dude, this is what I keep telling you about you having a marketing problem, dude, because really you're not a loser, dude. You're the statistician who's all about getting paid and getting laid, and you're labeling yourself a loser, dude. You got a marketing problem.
I might be right. I might need to hire some Manz PR, right? You guys, we could like join together, form Voltron, cross streams. Things would just be lit.
Look at, dude, we got the chat. We got my boy Jason Antilles jumping in here with Man's Mafia, fucking Patriots, Air Yards King, get paid, get laid. Yeah, so shout out from Jason to the Air Yards King himself. So we do have the combine on a scale of 0 to 10 shits. How many shits do you give about the combine?
After the game speed data came out and showed that the most important metric we get out of the combine, which is the 40, and the actual performance in a game where there's pads and people trying to hurt you and tackle you, that the correlation is really pretty bad. I give maybe 2 shits. And the reason why is because we don't have game tracking data for guys in college, and certainly we're never going to have it for like shit state and Division II. Maybe the SEC will at some point get some player tracking data, especially if coaches learn that this is actually some really cool stuff. I have an app on Air Yards, by the way, totally free. You can check out last 2 years of actual in-speed game data for players. Really cool stuff, courtesy of the NFL. Many thanks to the NFL, Aaron Jones, and the folks that have made it possible for me to get my hands on that stuff. So shout out
Aaron
to them.
Jones, friend of the program. Are you saying he helped hook you up with these stats?
Well, he didn't. I had to. It was hard to get it. So let me just say that. But
never mind. Fuck you, Aaron Jones.
I thanked the NFL in general, and he came in and said, "You're welcome." So, so I feel like he's the guy. I don't know, So thank you, Aaron.
No, I will say I have an Aaron Jones story that I can tie to something I'm wearing right now. I was at the NFL draft last April, and he messaged me. He's like, yo, come over here. He gave me these VIP passes, went and met D'Angelo Williams. I offered to give D'Angelo Williams an autograph, but he ultimately signed my hat for me, and that was legitimately thanks to Aaron Jones. So lest we said he didn't do anything for people on this program right now. Thank you, Aaron.
Jones is legit. That guy actually, he goes around there and he just like lurks. And then when he finds a time where he can like help someone out who loves football, he's on it. So love that guy.
Awesome.
He's a total asset to the NFL, I think.
All right.
What was I saying? I was saying that.
Oh, we're talking about the combine.
So yeah, the data. Oh yeah. So the data. So I got all the data and I put it on there, and you should check it out because the NFL didn't make it available. And I hope they do more of that. I really do, because they're just posting like who was the fastest in week 1, right? That's cool. Who had like the fastest run? But wouldn't it be more cool if you could like compare that to a bunch of other players over all the distances they ran and like try and figure out who's actually fast in the NFL like that? So that's what I tried to do with their data. And if they give schmoes like me access to that data, I think they're going to get more of that innovation than if they keep it cloistered. So I'm hoping for one of two things, like big meteor, like let's go big meteor, or that all the owners collude and they like try and fuck Belichick and they say just release the data and we can screw Belichick. And you would, by the way, all you guys, you would totally screw Belichick.
All right, I will. We need a name for the day this event would happen. I mean, John, what would happen to you? Because you have a family, you have things to do. What if this data all just came out, just vomited out here into the public? Like, would we just not see you for like 6 months?
No, I would go underground. I'm in Idaho anyway, so like I'm basically underground as it is. I would go underground 2 times. I'd be like double underground, and you wouldn't. I don't think I'd have time to tweet. I'd probably just get a diaper and an IV, and I'd be here.
All right, I like that. Let's let the people do love talking about their players. We've decided we only give a couple shits about the combine, but we do have the NFL draft coming up end of April, and you are on some kind of war crusade against Josh Allen, dude. Tell us all about your beef with this Josh Allen dude.
Oh, geez, So again, like you look at all the things that matter with quarterbacks, and that you can say, all right, it makes sense that a guy who throws a lot of touchdowns, wins a lot of games. Scoring points is important to winning games in the NFL. Yeah, big deal. I get you. But touchdowns aren't sticky, right? Year over year, guy might throw 40 touchdowns. The next year he throws 25. It's just, you're like, shit, what happened? Like, is he the same guy? What happened? Like, has he fallen off? Is he... No, and the truth is it's just really random. There's a lot of noise around touchdowns. So I try and find the things that don't have a lot of noise or have less noise. And the least noisy thing with quarterbacks is accuracy. You can measure it pretty well with completion percentage. Measure it really well when you adjust for depth. So because look, throwing 40 yards is harder than throwing a 5-yard pass. We all understand that, right, man? So all I'm saying is you adjust for depth, completion percentage becomes even better. So in the college ranks, I look for completion percentage because I know it'll translate to the NFL. If you're accurate in college, you're going to be accurate in the pros. Josh Allen, man, I don't know. It only takes like one look at a couple clips of him playing. He throws the ball at the people's feet. He throws them over their heads. The guy is not accurate. He's terrible. He's the worst top prospect in terms of accuracy. I can't understand why a team would even consider him in the top 4 picks, because that is just the one thing that as a trait will carry over to the NFL, and he sucks at it. So it seems to me, again, we want to run back to the data. We want to run back to, people who actually might have left ventricles for the NFL. Why are you doing that? I just think there's a huge opportunity in the NFL to stop making really stupid catastrophic decisions with your draft picks.
Does that mean you, I take it, are on team Baker Mayfield, top QB prospect?
Maybe. I mean, again, I think humility is at play when you're talking about prospects. Like, he seems like a really, really good prospect. But you need to like take all that enthusiasm for him and just like cut it by half and go, he's still just a prospect. Who knows? But of the top QB prospects, him and maybe as a late second round pick, like the Rudolph guy, like I think those would be solid choices because they just are so accurate. They have flaws, right? Like, so Baker, maybe he's got some, I don't know, maybe he's a bit of a nut job. I don't know. Maybe he likes to drink too much. I don't know. That's the
doesn't
NFL
sound like
job.
a bad thing to me, dude.
Right. I mean, look, I got an IPA and Buffalo Trace bourbon. So drinking, I'm all for it. But I think the problem is we don't have access to that part of the information. So it's hard to even know. But you do know, if a guy ain't accurate in the college ranks, he's certainly not going to be accurate in NFL, where the windows are smaller, where the players are better, everyone's fast. Like, just stop it with that. So why would you take – man, when I'm making a bet on my first-round pick, I want it to be a flush draw, right? That's what I want. If I'm not on a flush draw, then screw it. Just get out of here. I'll just go to the next – go on to the next. I don't even want it. So –
I like that. You're saying you want more outs. Josh Allen doesn't give you as many outs. Baker Mayfield, maybe he's got like a double belly buster inside, straight draw he's drawn to. He's got some outs. Okay. I do want to address somebody in the chat. Gus P says, is this crypto man's, poker man's, or sports man's? Similar to how people kind of view the Trinity in the Bible. I am always one, and yet those three separate entities, the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus himself. No, I'm talking to my dear friend Josh Hermsmeyer here. We are talking NFL, fantasy footballs, draft, combines. I did spin off another channel for crypto exclusive stuff. Stuff here will remain poker, fantasy stuff, all that good stuff. So yes, that's the deal. Oh, dude, we blew by talking about my favorite stat that you have created, FUPA. Will you talk to us about FUPA? Because, dude, and just spare no attention to detail, dude. Just give us a real nice description of that stat.
I don't know. I'm not like I can't. I'm looking at your guns right now, and it's just like I can't talk anymore. Look at you, dude. You're getting swole. So yeah, no, I think FUPA, right? So there's two parts to it. So FUPA. Oh, look at this. Oh no. See, I can't even think now. It's too much for me. My brain can't process. FUPA, I wanted to name a metric FUPA. So this is how metrics get named. I wanted to name a metric FUPA, and I did. And it was helpful because Twitter, George FUPA. George Fupanopoulos. Kritopoulos. What? Yeah, he's Greek. Anyway, he's on Twitter, and he's like, dude, like fastness under positional average is the best I got. I'm like, done, FUPA. So I made a metric named FUPA because I wanted to. And then if the other side of FUPA, the other side of the coin is FAPA. So fastness above positional average. And I'm just really proud of these metrics, man, because it's just, I think when you're naming the metrics, I think you really need to like troll people as hard as you can and the most you can. And I really respect that about people when they really troll hard. And so I aspire to that level of trolling in everything I do. And this was just my one contribution to that. And that's the thing I'm most proud of, actually, when it comes to analytics.
Yeah, and whether you realize it or not, I actually kind of give my own spin when I pronounce all of your metrics. Like I call pacer pecker, I call racer just rack. Just a nice old rack. And then, of course, we have FUPA, dude. So, yeah, any chance you can take that name. And, again, this is all you have. You have a marketing problem, dude. And FUPA is the one you got right. It's very polarizing, too. Some people either love it or hate it. Some people go, Josh, don't say FUPA. I got to use earmuffs.
Now, and I got that. I get that all the time, right? Did you see what this chick Elizabeth, the Hungarian skier in the half pipe, right?
Yeah, so, dude, she shreds, dude.
No, dude, she's an Olympian.
Yeah, she shreds.
Are you an Olympian? What color is your Gulfstream? She's an Olympian, and she rocked it. Like there are a few people in the world I respect more than that chick.
What is that? Elizabeth Sweeney, dude. She was catching big air in that half pipe, dude. That's the American/Hungarian dream right there, dude.
There it is. Oaktown representing.
That's right, dude.
Just saying. No, she ran for governor at 19. What are we doing with our lives? We got guys on this watching me dropping out of high school. She's running for governor at 19 and an Olympian.
It's impressive, dude. That's the go-getter. Where's my dude, Nick Wonder? You talked about, dropping out of school to play online poker. I also want to see you in the half pipe at the 2022 Olympics in Nagano or wherever it's going to be. Okay. We speaking of things you hate, dude, and I've mentioned that I spun off my new crypto channel. You are a notorious and very salty no coiner. You are, and some people are not Bitcoin, but blockchain. You're not Bitcoin, not blockchain. You like your printed USD fiat. So tell me why you don't like these round, sick ass Bitcoins, Josh.
Look at that thing. Man, well, I mean, what's the like? Again, it's a lot like draft picks. So you tell me why you like a guy, and then I'll take your enthusiasm and I'll chop it down to where it needs to be. Okay. Bitcoin, blockchain, all the rest. It was super interesting when people weren't trying to use it to make money. Like, it's a super interesting idea. It's a super interesting technology. I would just challenge you, if you're interested in it, go make your own blockchain. It'll take you 15, 20 minutes if you know how to turn on a computer. And then once you realize that it takes 15, 20 minutes to make a blockchain and some proof of work, and then you ask, why is there any value in this newest ICO? Why is there any value in this CryptoKitty? Why is Bitcoin worth anything at all? If I can go out and create another coin just tomorrow on my own, there's no moat. So that's my problem. Most good investors, you talk to Warren Buffett, you talk to anyone. I never talked to Warren Buffett. I don't even know why I said that. But like, if you listen to smart investors, what they say is, you want an investment that has an unfair advantage, right? They have almost a monopoly. There's no monopoly in crypto, man. Like, all the code's open source. You can make another coin tomorrow. Like, what makes Bitcoin any different from a CryptoKitty? Nothing.
No, I agree. But I think what makes it different is that many people on such a large scale agreeing it has value, right? How is that any different from everyone agreeing that a piece of paper with George Washington and Benny Franks on it has value?
Yeah, but I mean, like, the way that you prove value is when you allow people to exchange your thing of value for something that everyone knows has value, right? Like,
so
could be gold.
Listen, I've taken my Bitcoins, I've gambled with them, I've bought weapons with them, I've bought hookers with them. You're trying to tell me that this doesn't have any functional use, and I'm sitting here rolling in illicit goods purchased via this coin that you hate, that has brought so much joy to my life and my hobbies.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with that. Like, if you want to roll in the black market, Bitcoin is your play. So I would take, if that is your speed, if that's how you want to roll each year in your life, what I would suggest, and I'm not a financial advisor, man, but I would suggest you take 10% of your discretionary income. It's an important point, and put it into Bitcoin every year so that you can get your hookers and blow. But other than that, like, don't use it as an investment vehicle. You're just insane. That's just stupid.
So at what point would you, at what price point with Bitcoin would you ever say, okay, maybe I missed a really good investment opportunity, or okay, maybe this is here to stick around and people are going to use this as a global store of value, medium of exchange, and a unit of account? At what point would you be forced to have your arm twisted to be right? Okay, they were right on this Bitcoin thing.
Sure. That's a good question. It's actually a legit question. That's probably the smartest question anyone can ask about Bitcoin. And here's the answer. And the actual crypto anarchists are not going to like it. When the US adopts it as a store of value, I will absolutely buy in. When the FDIC insures Bitcoin, I'll fucking get all up in that shit. No way. I mean, like, so the problem is that you have two warring schools of thought. You have these idealists, these crypto idealists who say that we don't need the backing of a government to make our ledger legit. Well, I'm here to tell you that your ledger is an implementation detail. It's nothing. Like people want to say that crypto isn't fiat, and then they change the code. If you change the code, if the code can be changed at any point, you're no better than the U.S. government.
Right, but can't the U.S. government change the fiat code, so to speak, by printing dollars whenever they want? Isn't that the equivalent?
The point is not that everyone knows the U.S. is corrupt and that they can print when they want to. The idea is that the Bitcoin is somehow above and beyond all of that. But we've literally seen people change and fork Bitcoin or Ethereum, and they've changed the code. They've changed the actual fiat, the way that we value, the way the ledger is calculated, the way things actually work, the rules surrounding the fucking monetary value of the coin. So my point is simply that it's not different. It's not different. Like it's different in the fact that it's very new, and that there's crypto associated with it, and that there's a lot of computing that happens. But other than that, what you really have is an exchange of value. And if you're going to buy something only because it's going up, you're a fool. And I hope that you sell it high. And honestly, when I was having my biggest arguments with people back in December, when Bitcoin was peaking, I said the same thing every single time. I don't want anyone to bust. I don't want anyone to be underwater. Like, sell now, you guys. Just sell. Even if you think it'll go up to 100,000, fuck your face. It's not happening this year. So sell now. Take your $2,000 winnings. Go to Cabo or something.
Josh,
no one wanted to hear that shit. No one wanted to hear it.
If Bitcoin hits $100,000 this year, will you let every Bitcoin holder personally fuck your face?
Yes, I will. I'll have penis in all of my orifices. I won't be able to see. Like, it'll just be bukkake everywhere. I'm here for that. I am here for it.
I cannot wait to clip this up in mid-December 2018. And poor Josh is going to be getting a lot of dick pic requests, a lot of address requests to fulfill on this promise that you made. Well, look, no, all I heard, like, I kind of zoned out, and I just heard you saying, like, I'm a sad no coiner. I'm a sad no coiner.
I know. That's basically all I said.
Actually, there was one other thing you said. You said go make a blockchain. I'm not doing that. Sorry. I'm not going to make a blockchain, dude. This program is about getting paid, getting laid, not making blockchains and seeing how the shit works, dude. I just want to know what coin's going to the moon, dude. Come on. No, but hey, I appreciate you laying out your case. It's good to hear both sides of the coin, so to speak. And Josh, I really appreciate you coming on this program. I feel like we've plugged a lot of your stuff. We have identified that you have a marketing problem, and I'm helping you. Airyards.com. What's the book going to be called?
The League.
You're naming your book after the TV show?
Oh shit, that's right.
Josh, you have marketing problems at every turn. Josh,
and I kind of think I'm a pretty good marketer too. That's bad, huh? I forgot about the League.
And also, isn't that not good for SEO? If you just type in the League, it's so generic. Don't you, Josh? How about we name this book FUPA, The New Revolution?
Look, I can win at SEO. That's not a problem for me. But you're right about the League. I should probably find a different name.
Okay. All right. See, don't ever say I didn't help you. Okay. You're going to take all of those book winnings, and I'm going to tell you about a hot new altcoin to invest it in. But Josh, thank you for coming on the program. You guys can follow him on Twitter at Frisco Josh. Like we said, airyards.com. Seriously, if you guys play fantasy football, if you play DFS, he has a rake profiler in there for the DFS sites. I would go in there. You can type in the contest you want to play, and it'll show you exactly how much these little money hungry guys over at FanDuel and DraftKings are taking from the player pool. So you're providing lots of value, lots of service. We the people, thank you for that, Josh Hermsmeyer. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, man. Like I said, I've been after you, and dude, we need to have another pizza face off again. And I just, if I win the second one, and after I've given you my left ventricle my little side piece. I want your wife to come on, and I want her to point and laugh at you. That's the deal. That's what I want.
All right, Mrs. Manz has never officially been on the program, just like I have never let any of my other mistresses in my open marriage on the program. But we might be able to arrange something. Sports betting man, I see you there in the chat. I'm sorry, dude. We're wrapping up, but this will be archived right after we finish, so you can go, pack a bowl and start it from the start. Oh, one
more shout out for a super solid dude in the community, which is Robert Johnny.
Yes.
He created this shirt. This shirt is super comfy. It's money. I love it. I wear it whenever I get a chance. I love the idea behind it, and I love how it feels when I wear it. Buy that thing. I wish I had the link to the actual site, but just do process over results t-shirt. It's solid.
I want to piggyback on that. Rumford Johnny is an OG. He has been a Manz supporter. I've been trying to get him on this show, but he's kind of in this period of radio silence. But I'm glad you mentioned that, because Rumford Johnny is the man. Follow him on Twitter. The only thing I can knock against Rumford Johnny is he likes the Patriots just a little too much. That's the only bad thing I can say about Rumford Johnny.
Aren't you in New England? Aren't you close to New England?
Dude, I live in New England. It's awful.
You're like
awful,
New England guy. Like what do you? How are you like?
I'm New England. I'm from the Midwest originally, dude. From the Midwest. Come on, dude. I just moved out here for some FUPA, dude. All right. All right, that is what we're going to end it on. Like I said, guys, I spun off a new YouTube channel for crypto. You can find that on my Twitter at Pete Manzanelli if you're interested in crypto vids, this thing that Josh is so skeptical of. Otherwise, stay tuned. We'll have more videos this offseason. I'm sure we'll talk some more draft, some more combine, all that good stuff. All right, everybody, thanks for coming out. Josh, peace out. Get paid, get laid.
Thanks, man.